And Lanky was another man who was a child of this world. And he marched to the beat of a slightly different drummer, ever so slightly. He lived in Lucan, and on the Strawberry Beds, whether you know it or not, I don't know whether you know it or not, there's a pub called the Strawberry Hall. And it's about halfway between here and there, that sort of a place, do you know? And there's traditional music sessions in there. So Lanky used to go into the traditional sessions and he'd sit down. And he was one of these people, I'm sure you're at every session that ever was, that when the tune is over, he's able to tell you the real name of that tune and where it really came from. And he'd tell you if it was a tune that you thought you knew, of Walton's best 100 songs. Do you know that sort of way? He'd tell you, no, that's not it at all. The real story behind that is that's called The Cat That Sat Outside of Murphy's Door. And it comes from a little small town that's to the west of Mount Brandon, in the west end of Kerry. Now, if any of you know Kerry or know Mount Brandon or anything else, there's nothing to the west of Mount Brandon except America. But he said no. He's the sort of fella that could persuade you that, you know, anything was possible and all the rest of it. So he used to sit in with the musicians, but he never had anything with him. He never even brought a pair of spoons to keep time or anything else. He was just there. And they were talking to him and talking to him and talking to him, and he was talking away. And eventually one of the musicians said to him, as they do, will you play a tune yourself? He says, well, I don't have anything with me, but I will. I'll bring my instrument along with me next week and I'll play a tune for you. So now he used to get from Lucan to the Strawberry Hall. It's about maybe 2 or 3 miles if you know the road. But he used to get a lift off a pal of his on a Honda 50. And the two of them would wobble down the Strawberry Beds, happy enough, down they went. But the instrument of choice that he had was a piano accordion. So away they went down the Strawberry Beds with the piano accordion in the back of the passenger and they're going like this and all the rest of it down the way. So we went in and came time for him to play. Now I don't know whether you know any traditional musicians or not, but they can be fussy creatures. And I know that because a nephew of my own is an uilleann pipe player, and you know, that's okay. I love him because he's relative, that's it, you know. Anyway, they can be fussy people. And he sat in with them anyway, but when they saw him coming in with the piano accordion, they were a bit nervous about the whole thing because there's a pecking order and all the rest of it. It's said about Seamus Ennis, the great uilleann pipe player, that he didn't like Bowron players. And he was asked by a young man who had bought a new Bowron, what was the best way to play a Bowron, Mr. Ennis? And Mr. Ennis said, the best way to play a Bowron is with a penknife. And you just do it that way, you know. So it's much the same attitude they had to the box player when he came in and he sat down. So it came time for him to be asked to play, and they said, where are you going to play? And this is the man that knew the origins of every song that ever was played or was ever told. And he said, what are you going to play? He says, I'm going to play a tune I only learned it now from a German backpacker called Hans. And he only learned it in the last few weeks. And I'm not entirely certain that I know all the words of it, but I'll play it for you anyway. So he started to play, and their interest was mighty when he started. And then a sort of a horror fell over them, and a complete silence fell over them. Because what was he playing? Wooden Heart. Do you know Wooden Heart? I'll sing it for you, only I can't sing. But he couldn't play Wooden Heart either, so we're a match. So when it was finished anyway, he was asked would he leave and not come back again, which was an unusual classical thing in a traditional music section. But he was asked to leave anyway, so he said, feck the whole lot of us, that's it. And so-and-so the begrudgers, and off he went home. So there was an open air set dancing started off near the river, because it was these community things where people go a bit mad, and instead of having set dancing in a fine place like this, they decided they'd have it in the open, because someone had read a book about dancing at crossroads and that sort of stuff, you know. So he went down there and he took part in that, and he said he used to dance before Michael Flatley ever heard tell of river dance, and he used to dance set dancing down by the river. But he danced on his own, and he called it individual set dancing. Do you know that sort of way? You know set dancing is 8 people with 2 sessions for crisscross and all the rest of it. So when he started dancing, he was still dancing to Wooden Heart, which was a kind of a slower beat. So whenever anyone was there, they were sort of missing. Do you know that way? And then when he was supposed to meet his partner, when she was going past, she was going past too fast. So he reached out to catch her, and she was a smaller woman than him. And his hand connected with her neck, and he pushed her, do you know. So after that, shortly thereafter, he was asked to do that again as well. So he took up karaoke singing. And the karaoke singing he was doing again, he was dancing to the beat of a slower lifting. So he decided he'd bring his own words along to the karaoke. So he was singing one song to the air of another one. But people asked him to leave that again, so he got fed up. So the current position is this is a real man, I'm not making this up now. This could be true. This man then decided he would go to England, like a good many men before him, Irish people before him. So he's now in England, practicing and training, for he's going in next year for the X Factor. He fully believes that he'll either win or be placed so high in it that he'll be able to make so much money that he'll be able to fund a new musical called Wooden Heart. He's going to dance the Michael Flatley part. Hans is going to be the musical director if you can ever find him. And the lad with the Honda 50 is going to be the promoter. So if he turns up next year, his name is Lanky, if he turns up next year on X Factor, please vote for him. And I'll tell you what happens next year, the next time you come along. Thank you very
much. More applause, please, for a wonderful storytelling of Brendan Nolan. When Brendan was talking about the accordion player there, I was reminded that there's a saying in the west of Ireland that a gentleman is someone who can play the accordion but doesn't. So I hope I haven't offended any accordion players here.